Yikes. We got some new information that just came out about the crypto market, which really isn't too good. We have a lot to talk about with Bitcoin as well as Cardano, something that is very disappointing with Cardano. So make sure to stick around until the end. Let's start off though with the crypto market right now. Right now we're looking at crypto. There is some good news and some bad news. So let's start off with the bad news. Bad news for crypto market is that right now we are well below a $1 trillion market cap, sitting at $898 billion. Over the last week or so, we have seen that there have been enormous outflows from the largest Bitcoin ETF, largest Bitcoin futures ETF called the Purpose Bitcoin ETF. What we can see is that since the Purpose Bitcoin ETF made its debut on the Canadian Stock Exchange in April of 2021, we have never seen this high of outflows. The last week, we saw that the fund had to sell $500 million in Bitcoin on a single day, which really added to the selling pressure in the crypto market. The reason they had to do this is that they had to sell off 24,510 Bitcoin as a lot of investors started taking their funds out of this Bitcoin ETF. So this caused a lot of selling pressure and potentially triggered many other liquidations across crypto holders, causing Bitcoin's price to drop to $17,000 per coin. So that wasn't good. That's really a big contributing factor as to why we saw that huge drop, that massive liquidation take place when Bitcoin dropped to 17,500. Other thing going on with the market is that a lot of analysts are saying that Bitcoin could drop as low as $13,000 per coin. And this, while people may say it's FUD, there actually is some validity to the statement, because when we look at Bitcoin, and as we've talked about in previous videos, every single last bear market, we have seen that Bitcoin's price has dropped 85% from all-time highs. And I am by no means bearish on Bitcoin. I am very bullish on it, but we have to look at this practically. We have to, acknowledge the fact that this is possible. And I think Bitcoin could actually even drop to right now, it would be $10,425 per coin. The reason for this is as I said, every single previous bear market, Bitcoin has dropped 85% from all-time highs. 85% drop from an all-time high of 69,500 put us right at 10,400. So this analyst is factoring in an 80% drop, but historically we've always seen an 85% drop. So when you're investing in Bitcoin right now, don't go all in with your money right now, because I would say it's always best to dollar cost average. We don't know how low Bitcoin can go. No one can exactly predict the bottom, but if we're looking at some historical trends, this is one that has still remained in 85% drop, so we can't discount it. Can't say it's untrue just yet, because it has happened every single bear market. I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Fairdesk. Fairdesk is one of our longest term sponsors on the channel, and they are a cryptocurrency exchange that offers up to 125x leverage. This is the platform where I have currently been doing a lot of my leverage trading as of recently, because they have a very simple and easy to use platform that really provides investors with access to the global crypto markets. Some of the features that I personally enjoy and use the most on Fairdesk are three things. First is that they have a simple mobile app with great charting features if you like technical analysis. The second is that they also offer leverage trading on dozens of the top trading cryptocurrencies. And the third is that they have easy access to short or long any of your favorite cryptos. If you sign up for Fairdesk today using the link in the description, you can get up to a $600 bonus when you deposit $100 or more. So if you're interested in trading crypto specifically with leverage, I definitely think you should check out Fairdesk. Remember, leverage trading is high risk, high reward, but I think this platform is definitely worth checking out. Anyways, let's get back to the program. Now let's talk about some good news with the market. So the good news with the market right now is that we actually did see inflows into Bitcoin. Yet again, $28 million of inflows into Bitcoin from institutions. We continue to see overall outflows significantly when we're talking about Ethereum, but we saw Bitcoin have inflows as many institutions are continuing to allocate more of their money into Bitcoin because it's the safest, it's the most secure out of all the cryptocurrencies. Other thing from this report is that we also saw that the short Bitcoin assets under management, AUM, peaked to an all-time high of $64 million at the beginning of the week. But then what we saw during last week, when we saw that massive correction, we saw that there were outflows totaling $5.8 million. So that means that all of these people who were shorting Bitcoin, institutions that were shorting Bitcoin, they started to take some profits. They started to take some money out, and we saw the largest week ever in terms of money coming out of the Bitcoin short products. So that is potentially a good sign, signaling that a lot of institutions think we're at the bottom of the market. If we're not there already, we're very close, because we had seen a record amount of outflows from people who were shorting Bitcoin, meaning that they were, cashing in on their bets. Now let's talk about one other positive thing with Bitcoin before we get into disappointing news with Cardano. That's going to be that Bitcoin right now has a $2 billion worth of outflows from exchanges in a week. And this is actually very positive. You may be asking yourself, well, what does this mean? Why are we seeing outflows? Well, what this actually means is that Bitcoin right now, despite everything going on in the market, we're seeing that a lot of people are taking their Bitcoin off of exchanges, those who at least have it. In my opinion, what I think about this is that the reason why we saw record high amounts of 108,000 Bitcoin leave exchanges, over $2 billion leave exchanges, is because people who are in Bitcoin now are in it for the long term. They have absolutely no plans of selling anytime soon. So the people who had Bitcoin on exchanges, they're like, well, you know what? At this point, let's take it off of exchanges. Let's make sure it's secure. Let's put it into cold storage or a hardware wallet. Let's make sure it is secure. So I think with this recent drop in the market, it's really differentiated those who are going to be long-term holders of Bitcoin versus those who are trying to make a short-term profit. And those who are holding it long-term have simply taken their money off of exchanges, making sure that it's more secure. And I think that is why we have seen such a record amount of outflows from exchanges despite prices continuing to fall. Now I want to talk about one thing with Cardano, which is very disappointing, before we get into a key statement from Vitalik Buterin and one other very important thing going on with the market. So right now what we're seeing with Cardano is that Cardano has officially delayed the Vasil hard fork. And this is very disappointing. A lot of people are upset about this because they had said this was on track for months and that it was going to go off without a hitch. But what we have seen is that Cardano has officially delayed the Vasil hard fork due to pending bug fixes. And they said that after some consideration, they've agreed not to send the hard fork update proposal to the testnet today to allow more time for testing. They said that there are several bugs that they need to fix. None of them are severe, but they want to make sure there are no issues when this is actually rolled out. So they said what they're doing is they're moving it from June 29th to the last week of July. And so while this may seem bad to a lot of people, and a lot of people are disappointed, we got to remember that Cardano has always prioritized security and safety over speed. They've continued to do this, and we have seen that Solana's founder and Solana and other projects have come out and criticized Cardano for this reason. They say you're too slow, you work on things for too long, and you're going to lose out because of this. But in my opinion, I would prefer Cardano actually to take a step back, make sure there are no issues, there are no bugs as much as they can, and prevent anything serious from happening in the future. I would prefer them to be more safe, more secure, more cautious when rolling out a major upgrade. According to them, this is the biggest upgrade ever. They have never had this much go into an upgrade in terms of improvements for optimization, scalability, interoperability of the network. And ultimately, I would prefer them to take a step back, take a little bit longer, and then rolling it out, because we're not in a rush. We're in a bear market. It's not like they have anything that is pressing at this time that needs to be rolled out. I would say take a step back, make sure people's funds are secured before you actually go and roll out an upgrade. But let me know your thoughts on this. I know a lot of people are disappointed, but I would say, you know what? This isn't the end of the world. It does change a lot of what's been going on with Cardano. It does change the fact that, this deadline is not happening when they said, but I don't think it's that bad as everyone is making it. But let me know your thoughts on that. Other thing with Cardano is that, according to a statement from IOHK, they said that they know people are disappointed with their decision, but they're trying to take an abundance of caution to ensure that they do this deployment correctly. And like I said just a minute ago, with Solana in the past, we have seen that Solana has had issue after issue and outage after outage. And That's not good. People have lost trust in Solana for this reason. We have seen that Solana has had multiple outages in 2022, and many people don't believe in the project as much anymore. They are upset that Solana consistently has issues. So because of this, like I said, I think IOHK is really doing the right thing. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be with the ProShares company. ProShares is officially launching a short Bitcoin ETF this week. They launched it on June 21st, 2022. And this is a pretty big deal because ProShares is launching the first ever short Bitcoin ETF product in the US. And the reason why this is important is because it shows us the market is continuing to mature. Many people would say, well, why do we want products that are going to short Bitcoin? Isn't that bad for the market? Well, yes, in one sense, it could mean that more people are shorting Bitcoin, but ultimately it shows that the market is maturing. There's more desire, more need, more requests for diverse Bitcoin and crypto products. The more products we have on the stock exchange available for institutions and just for regular investors, the better for the overall market, the more mature the market is getting. And I think this just shows a sign of maturity in the crypto market that we're starting to see more products like this being requested and actually being rolled out. So anyways, that's what's been going on with the crypto market. There's some bad news, some good news, and some just, you have to say what you think about it, some up for debate things. But let me know your thoughts on what's going on. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.